Ubisoft announces removal of Assassin's Creed Valhalla flavor text to avoid unintentionally reinforcing ableism following a single complaint. Sometimes I really hate the internet. Honestly, I've kind of stopped giving a shit about Assassin's Creed. It's been a while. I think, honestly, the last good one was Black Flag, and I tried playing Origins. I just really couldn't care. So I really have given up on the franchise, and quite frankly, I'm not a big fan of any of the other games that Ubisoft has put out recently. So I really have already stopped buying their products, but this honestly is another reason why we need to tell companies that if they're going to kowtow to SJWs, that we're not going to go and buy their products. And we need to make sure that these companies hear this loud and clear, because they need to start telling these people to go fuck off. They really do. Anyway, let's get in this article. It's pretty funny, and the person who brings up this shit, oh my god, it's pretty apparent. All they really care about is power, and we'll get to their tweets in a moment. Ubisoft has announced that they will be editing a piece of flavor text in Assassin's Creed Valhalla referring to the character's burn injuries following a complaint from a single individual on the internet that the words presented in-game were absolutely unacceptable. And what were these words that were so fucking unacceptable? Horribly burned in a childhood accident. ER14 is terrified someone will see her disfigured face. She relieves her fury with bursts of violence. That's it. Character fluff. Something that gives the character motivation and backstory. That's what is so offensive. Why? Why is this unacceptable? This is a fictional character. This is how they feel in this fictional story. This is not a reflection of people who have been burned in real life, and they should not feel ashamed. But I'm sure there are people out there that do feel this way about being disfigured. And it is a disfigurement, okay? I mean, that is not an ableist thing to say. That is reality. And I feel like we're getting to the point where we're trying to sanitize fucking everything. And we're just going to have bland, uninteresting content. And I am going to speak for myself, okay? I have a learning disability, and I used to get mocked quite a bit by some people. And at times it bothered me, at times it didn't. But ultimately, it kind of made me callous to being mocked in that regard. I honestly don't give a shit anymore. I really don't. It helped me become a stronger person, having to cope with this nonsense. And this is the thing, you know, if you feel insecure about something, you need to find a way to cope and deal with it, and not force the world around you to change. You are the one who needs to change, because life is fucking cruel. It can be, and kids are cruel, but this game is not trying to mock you. It's ridiculous. And the fact that Ubisoft bent the knee over one complaint, oh man, and it just shows you the power of cancel culture that is going on right now. And it's the reason why these companies need to stand up and tell these people to go fuck off. And if they don't, we don't give them our money. As to why this particular text caused Craven to take such great offense, they explain how their GF, who is a burn victim and spent many years ashamed of her scars, was sitting behind me when I came upon this bit in the game, and the look on her face. I was embarrassed that this was her impression of this industry I love so much. First off, I want to say, Courtney, I'm really sorry that your girlfriend went through that. That is absolutely terrible. It legitimately is. But she needs to cope and learn to deal with that and not expect the world to change for her. When I was in high school, when I was graduating, we had a speaker who was a Vietnam veteran who was caught in an explosion. I want to say it was napalm, but legitimately is burned all over his entire body to the point where his thumbs were burned off. And this man learned to become a motivational speaker, to show young people that they can overcome adversity, because this man did. And he was not ashamed of what happened to him. He learned to grow. And it was a terrible accident. It was a terrible thing that happened to him. But he overcame what happened to him. And I'm pretty sure your girlfriend can too. It just takes a lot of work and a lot of mental fortitude. In response to these tweets, many fans of Assassin's Creed Valhalla and video games in general pushed back against Craven, arguing both that the text was not an instance of ableism and pointing out the absurdity of this ever-growing list of real-world subjects that have been declared off limits. And this is the issue, right? We're going to get an ever-growing list of things that can't be explored in storytelling. And here's the thing. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, like legitimately, don't play the video game. Don't watch the movie or the television show. And if it really bothers you that bad, go seek professional help. You need to learn to cope with what is triggering you. And you can't expect the world to change for you. Despite both of Craven's tweets on the subject receiving little more than a combined total of 337 likes and 474 retweets, it took less than 6 hours for Ubisoft to take notice of their complaints and assure them that they would be removing the text from the game. Thank you so much for pointing this out. We apologize for the unintentional reinforcement of ableism through this language, said Ubisoft. We will remove this language in an upcoming update. Wow. When Mass Effect 3 came out, there was a huge uproar about the ending, and rightfully so, because it sucked and it wasn't what Casey promised. And so they went and they changed the ending to try and explain and flesh out some things. And the games journalist said that that was a very dangerous precedent, because that means that fans can go and kind of screw with the artistic vision of a creator's vision, essentially. And I kind of think they're right, because now we're seeing this kind of crap. I mean, a single tweet, folks, a single tweet complaining about ableism, and now they're going to go and change this game. And Courtney is definitely letting it go to their head. After Ubisoft confirmed the forthcoming change, Craven took to their Twitter to taunt her critics, announcing that, in case you are worried Assassin's Creed is the only game I want to ruin, I can't wait to also ruin Demon's Souls for you. Such a pleasant individual. Might be time for the angry men to find a new hobby, because this that you hate is the future of the games industry. You're welcome, Craven concluded. I really do feel like Craven is a very fitting last name for this individual. Here's the problem. If you start driving out all the men from video games, because they are the bulk of the people who go and buy them, you're going to collapse the industry. So it's fine. I'm actually fine with it. If you want to go and pander to these woke dumbasses, by all means, go ahead. I'm just not going to buy your fucking product. I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm just not going to support you. And eventually this means that your industry will go and collapse and crumble. And I think that if you're watching this video, you should do the exact same thing. You should not support companies that go and bend the knee. If there ever was a question that SJWs just want power, this tweet really kind of personifies that, at least part of it. Some of it's tongue-in-cheek, but I think the first part, they're being dead serious. I never realized how powerful I was until today. I single-handedly forced a whole company to change the game with one tweet. Next time taking the presidency, I won, not Biden. Then I'm gonna make COD and Dark Souls actually fun, all with tweets. Now, if you are planning on buying Assassin's Creed, I highly suggest that you don't. Because of this whole debacle, the fact that they bent the knee, we should not support companies that do that. This is a ridiculous complaint, and now they're going and changing the game as a result. And what you should do, because they do it, is let these companies know and complain to them saying, we're not going to buy your product because you bent the knee. We need to hit them where it hurts, which is the pocketbook. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight, folks. I'll catch you next time. Wow, you made it all the way to the end of the video. Well, if you could do me a huge favor while you're here, if you're new to the channel, go and click that subscribe button. Bash that bell for instant notifications. And Hulk. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. I even have a P.O. box if you want to go and send me some fan mail. And yes, I finally have received some. Figured I should probably go and update that just because, you know, it's been some time. Well, I've finally done it. I've gone and launched my new website, so go and head over to pixelnation.io. There you'll be able to find all my current videos, even some past live streams, as well as the thought of the day, week, or month, depending on when I actually get around to writing something. Also, in the next couple weeks, I'll be launching my new forums, so keep an eye out for that. I would love to give a huge shout out to all my Subscribe supporters, because without you, I'd still be making content. But in all seriousness, I do appreciate your support and your help. And I'd like to give a huge shout out to my big spenders, Toxic Manflu, MarjieSmiles, and Roger the Shrubber. And we can't forget the misplaced mountain man, who's a sucker with a lot of dough. Thank you very much, everyone. You guys are awesome.